hope that you guys are all ready, and I hope you are excited for the presentation that we have for you today. As always, I always encourage you guys to be active in the chat, to ask questions, and to, just stay tuned, take a lot of notes, and pay attention to all the information that we share with you, because it is valuable information that you might not get anywhere else, especially for free. So these live streams are another resource that you could use throughout this college journey, this college admissions and college planning journey. Now, as I said, today's topic is how to get accepted to college this year, or how to get accepted to college now that it is 2023. Things change. There are, every year is different. The college admissions process, obviously some things stay the same. Some processes never change, but there are other things that are updated and other things that do change from year to year. For example, the FAFSA is one of those things, one of those parts of the college admissions process that does change over time. And it does change from maybe not always. It has been the same for a few years, but this year, the FAFSA for the 2024-2025 cycle. So the students who will be filling out the FAFSA this year for the next school year, there are going to be some changes to this form. So this is one of the things that I'm talking about, that while some things stay the same, the FAFSA has been very similar for the past, I guess, like decade, but this year is going to be different, right? So inside of Best College Aid, our membership, we're actually already have a FAFSA, the traditional FAFSA, or the FAFSA that has been around for a while. We have a tutorial on how to fill out this form, but now obviously that there's going to be some changes to it, we do update that, and we do have a lesson. We will have a lesson on what those changes are and what maybe these changes can entail, and how to fill out this form ultimately, like step-by-step guide that we will have for our members, for our students. And some of those changes for the FAFSA are going to be the SAI, the Student Aid Index. That's a new term, a new thing that is going to be attached to this new FAFSA form. Before, the FAFSA kind of help you, figure out, you and your family's EFC, estimated family contribution number. But now it's going to I'll be able to let you know what your student aid index is. Additionally, another change that is coming with the FAFSA is that it's going to have fewer questions. It's not going to be as long. Before, the FAFSA was about 100 questions. Now it's going to be around 40. So the questions are going to be less, but that does not mean that it's going to, just because it's less questions, it doesn't mean that these questions are, less, I don't want to say important or detailed. They're just going to be maybe worded differently, or they're going to be asking different things, or encompassing a bigger picture. Also, the new Pell Grant eligibility the FAFSA, the new form, is going to be changing the Pell Grant eligibility, right? So there's around 1.7 million more students would qualify for the maximum amount of the Pell Grant, the maximum amount that students could get with this Pell Grant. So those are some of the changes that are happening this year. And of course, our members inside of Best College Aid, if you are a member watching this, you have access to this, and we will be updating our lessons and updating our content. So if you are a student or a parent of a student who maybe is already in college, or who will be filling out the form for the first time this year because they're seniors, you will have the resources, the tool, and the guides to fill it out correctly. Another new content that we have is how to win private scholarships. That is something that we constantly update inside our platform, inside of Best College Aid, and things that we cover in these live streams. For example, if you can see in this picture, Edwin is one of our members. He had his daughter was actually accepted to Rutgers University, and she was also accepted to 6 other universities with merit-based scholarships of up to $14,000 per year over the 4 years. So it would be a total of $55,000 for all 4 years. Then the other schools that she was accepted into, but she ultimately chose to go to Rutgers, was Seton Hall, Montclair, Quinnipiac. What else? It was Scranton, William Patterson's University, and Ramapo College in New Jersey. So she was accepted to lots of universities, and ultimately she decided to go to Rutgers in New Jersey. So that's one of our success stories and some of the information that we're constantly updating, and we're constantly just talking about and guiding our students and our members inside of Best College Aid. And you might be wondering, why is she talking about Best College Aid? Or maybe you might be, for the longest time, you might have been considering joining Best College Aid and being a part of our membership. Well, I want to let you know that we do have, because it is Labor Day today, we have our Labor Day sale going on. It's a 60% off discount. So you would be saving $600 for a limited time only to join Best College Aid today. So we do have that sale going on. If you want to have access to all of the benefits inside of Best College Aid, if you want to have access to all of the information, the guides, our help, our personalized, unlimited online help via our chat, via our platform. If you want to have access to all of that, today's the day to take advantage of our Labor Day sale, $600 off of our family lifetime membership, because it is a lifetime membership. So if you join Best College Aid, you have access to everything that is included inside the course for life. And it would be, you can choose to make 2 different type of payments. You can do a one-time payment that is $397. That's what it would be with this discount, because usually Best College Aid is $900. Our membership is $997, but with this discount, you get 60% off. So if you decide to join and take advantage of this amazing discount due to Labor Day sale, you will have access to Best College Aid for life, and you would never have to pay anything else for our services, for our membership or family membership, or Best College Aid family membership. And there's so many amazing benefits, so many amazing resources inside the course, inside our membership. So if you want to take advantage of those resources, make sure that you click on the link in this video's description and that you take advantage of our Labor Day sale, because we want to help you. We want to guide you through this process. And there's a lot of resources that you could take advantage of. And actually, as a matter of fact, we also have new benefits for our Best College Aid membership. So let me share those with you. Some of the new benefits that our members get is SAT Prep Plus, access to SAT Prep Plus, free Kaplan study guides and study materials online. So you get a year of free SAT Prep Plus online resources, texts, quizzes, tests, and just study materials for your students so that they can increase and improve their SAT scores. That is additional to the ACT Prep Plus that is also through Kaplan, which is a company that helps make practice tests, that helps make resources for students to practice and get better for these types of exams. And we have a partnership with them, and our members, people who join Best College Aid, get a year free of their Kaplan SAT and ACT Prep Plus accounts. So that is something new that we added. Before we only had the SAT. Now our members get access to the SAT Prep Plus account as well. And we also have our group Zoom sessions, which are once a month, and our members get access to us. They get to sit in front of the computer and get to have a Zoom session where they can ask us any questions about the college admissions and scholarship journey, and we answer that real time through Zoom, and it's a private link that it's only accessible to our members. So if you want to have access to those newer benefits as well as the older benefits, I encourage you, I strongly invite you to take advantage of our labor sale discount, 60% off, $600 off of a Best College Aid, and you can join. It's a lifetime membership. And if you make this payment once, or you can also choose a three monthly payments to complete your purchase. And once you complete those 3 monthly payments, you will be done and you will have access to Best College Aid for life. It's a family membership. A lot of people think that they have to pay this amount of money like monthly or yearly. No, once you pay the price of the membership, you will get access to all of the amazing benefits for life. So take advantage of this sale, Labor Day sale, and yeah, you can have access to our benefits. You can have access to our unlimited online support via our private Facebook group, via our platform, via email, and you also have access to the live Q&A sessions that are exclusive for just members, to our step-by-step video tutorials and guide where we cover everything about the college admissions process, the college admissions journey, from the high school student prep to the life in college, to how to, maybe if you have students in middle school, what it is that they have to do in middle school to prepare for high school and for college, how to avoid student loans, how to understand financial aid, how to apply for the FAFSA, for the CSS profile, for state aid, etc. So all of that is included inside of Best College Aid. Once again, it's the last time I will say it. Take advantage of our Labor Day sale. Why can I not say Labor Day? It's like a tongue twister. Labor Day sale. There you go. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and actually share today's tips with you, the tips that I have for you today on how to get accepted to college with scholarship this 2023. And let's go ahead and start with tip number 1, the first tip that I have for you today. And it is, make sure that your student is aware of the dates to submit applications, that they are aware, first of all, what type of application they are going to use when applying to college. Are they going to be applying to college early? So are they going to be doing either early action application or early decision? Or if they want to do regular decision, or if they want to wait and do rolling admissions, and if they do decide to do rolling admissions, are they going to do it earlier on, or are they going to wait after the first semester of high school, senior year of high school is done, so that they can send that GPA, those grades from that first semester? Or if they just have great grades and they are ready to submit their college application, their test scores as well, or maybe if they need more time to take the SAT or ACT because they didn't do so well when they last took it. You know, it's important for students to define, if they haven't done so already, what type of application they're going to be doing. And also another thing to know is that early action is a type of application that is an early application, like early decision, but not every school is going to have the same early action deadline. So this is something that happened to people last year. They were members of Best College Aid. They sent us an email because they were interested, and they told us, I want to apply to these schools early action, and it was like November 15th, and they said, I'm waiting for, I don't remember if it was Harvard or Stanford. I'm going to submit it on November 15th because that's a deadline. And it was like November 5th. But the deadlines for some of those schools for early actions were back in October. So they missed that early action deadline because they didn't check when that deadline was. So it's important that if your student already knows, okay, I want to apply to this school early because it's my top choice school and I really want to go there, and I really want to get accepted there, I want to maximize my odds of acceptance or maximize my odds of receiving financial aid and scholarships, they know they choose a type of application, early action, early decision, regular decision, rolling admission. And if they, let's say, chose early action, that they know exactly whether it is going to be the early action deadline of October 15th, November 15th, or even some schools do early action deadlines in December 1st. So make sure that those deadlines are clear, that students know what type of application they're going to be doing, and that they submit it in time, right? Before the deadline. Honestly, like a month before the deadline, a couple of weeks before the deadline is much better than waiting till the last minute, because things could happen. Don't wait till the last minute. Trust me. I've heard stories of students waiting till the last minute, the day of, and then their computer crashes. For some reason, the application's not sent, and then they don't submit it, and you don't want that to be your student. All right. The second tip that I have for you is to just be aware and to understand, and this goes for students who are seniors right now, students who maybe are freshmen, sophomores. Make sure that your student fully understands the college application requirements, and they are getting familiar with them. You as a parent as well, maybe if they are freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and especially, well, seniors should know what each school is requiring of them. Most schools, if not all schools, are going to require a personal essay, a personal statement. A lot of schools do have additional questions, such as supplemental essays. And a tip that we do have for you guys is, if a school has a supplemental essay and it says optional, it's never, okay, it's optional, I'm not going to fill it out, I'm not going to send it. No. Always complete it, always write it, always send it. Colleges will notice if a student just skips a supplemental essay portion, and it's not a good look. They want students who take their time and take every chance that they get to let the school know who they are, a little bit about themselves. So if the school that your student is applying to, the school that you're applying to, has supplemental essays or additional questions, fill it out, send it. Inside of Best College Aid, we have a couple of lessons on this. We have a lesson on how to write a great college essay. We have a lesson on how to write a great supplemental essay, supplemental answers for supplemental questions. So it's important that students complete them and that they send it, because ultimately, colleges want to get to know the students, and they have to get to know the students unless they do like an interview, an in-person interview with admissions officers or ex-alumni, and they get the student in person or through via Zoom, where they're answering questions, and they get maybe like an hour or 30 minutes. Most schools, in most cases, the only resources that admissions officers are going to have to get to know the personality of the student, who the student is, what they stand for, what their impact is on that community, what they did in high school, middle school, inside and outside of the classroom, is going to be that personal essay. If they have supplemental essays, they're going to be asking about those, and they're going to be trying to decipher those things too through the students' college application, their transcripts, and when they fill out what extracurriculars they did. And obviously, like a college admissions officer can see that the student maybe was part of Best Buddies all 4 years, and maybe they were the president senior year, but maybe a supplemental question is going to be able to is going to ask something about leadership or an opportunity or an experience where you as a student, where your student can talk about the impact that Best Buddies had on them, or a person that they met that really changed their perspective on something, depending on the question that's being asked. The student can use those experiences to have the college admissions officers to really get to know them. So make sure that your student is filling out those supplemental essays. I know that I kind of went on a rant there, but it's important to know, because a lot of people don't know. Also, letters of recommendation is another requirement for the application, and standardized tests. Standardized tests, SAT, ACT, knowing whether a school is test optional, knowing whether a school they require SAT and ACT scores, like it's not optional, it's mandatory, or whether or not a school is test blind, or if they just not require these tests at all. If a school is mandatory, obviously those test results have to be sent out. If a school is test optional, I would still recommend students, unless they really tried and they didn't get a good score on these exams, obviously don't send those scores. But if the student took this test one time and they did maybe average, and they study, they practice, and they know that they can get a better score next time. We do encourage students to send those scores only if they're good scores and if it's going to boost that application. And inside of Best College Aid, we do have resources for our students to prepare for these standardized tests in order to get a better score and maximize those odds of getting accepted into maybe more competitive schools. And there's strategies too about standardized tests, when it is good to send them, when it's good to not send them, that we do teach inside of Best College Aid as well. Now, the third tip that I have for you is to fill out financial aid forms. Filling out the FAFSA and the CSS profile is imperative. Parents, students, if your student is a U.S. citizen, a U.S. Resident, or an eligible non-U.S. citizen, meaning that they qualify to fill out and send the FAFSA. Not if they qualify because there's too many, they're an only child, or the parents make too much money, or both parents work. No, if the student has social security number, or if they are a resident, they're a citizen of the United States, or an eligible non-U.S. citizen that can fill out that form and send it, always send it, because it's maybe your child will not qualify for federal aid because both parents work. Maybe your child would not qualify for federal aid because they're a single, they're an only child, whatever the case may be. The FAFSA is not only used for federal aid. Colleges and universities use this form to award institutional aid, so it should be filled out. Some state scholarships, state aid also uses the FAFSA to award this type of merit-based scholarships, to award this type of aid. So make sure that you are always filling out these forms, and you're filling them out before the deadline. Honestly, the earlier the better. The FAFSA has a later deadline, the CSS profile, depending on the school, because not every college requires this form. But depending on the college and the university, that deadline is going to change. So being aware of when that deadline is. And also, if you are maybe an international student, or you are not a U.S. citizen, so you would qualify to schools as an international student, because students who are not citizens or residents qualify to college. Colleges view them as international students. That's the CSS profile. A lot of schools that do require this form, they ask, not all schools, but they do ask international students to fill this form out. So if you're an international student, a non-U.S. citizen, non-resident, if you don't qualify for the FAFSA, but you are applying to a school that does require the CSS profile, chances are that you might need to fill this out. So knowing how to fill out this form is also important for that. So just a little side note. Also, other financial aid forms are those institutional aid and scholarships. So while colleges are obviously most of the time, if not all of the time, they're going to be requiring students to fill out the FAFSA in order to award institutional aid that might be need-based aid, or the CSS profile. There are some colleges that will require extra students to fill out extra forms once they're accepted. So knowing when to fill out those forms and filling them out, sending them in. Scholarships as well. Institutional aid and scholarships. This is institutional aid, by the way, is financial aid and scholarships that are awarded by a college, the college that the student applies to, and if they do get accepted. So institutional aid and scholarships could be athletic scholarships. If the student is part of the band, of the marching band, a lot of schools do offer scholarship for students who continue to do this in college. I was in theater, so when I went to college, I minored in theater, and I did theater as an extracurricular activity, and I actually applied for a theater scholarship, and I got a theater scholarship all 4 years of college, and this was an institutional scholarship because it was awarded by my college. So those are examples of institutional scholarships, and they can be merit-based or they could be need-based. A lot of schools do award the need-based scholarships for students to be able to attend that school, right? So they do look at need, they look at extracurricular academic achievements, merit, and they can award scholarships based on how they performed in high school, what their GPA was, what their SAT or ACT scores were. So that is institutional scholarships, institutional aid. And also make sure that your student is filling out, it's not only about the FAFSA CSS profile, but there's also state and private aid. Well, private aids, private scholarships, but there's are a lot of state scholarships that may have different deadlines. So it depends on the state and the scholarship program, but there are a lot of state programs for students to be able to get scholarships, to get funding to pay for college. Florida has Florida Bright Futures. There's programs in every state that are very different, that vary from state to state. There are programs that exist in like Florida, but those programs don't exist in like Texas or in New York, California, etc. So it all depends on the state, and some of those state aid and state scholarships are going to require the FAFSA. Some of those are going to require additional separate forms, financial aid forms that are not that are their own specific and particular forms. So it all depends on the type of aid and the type of scholarship. In the state that you live in, there are state aid and state programs for students who maybe are not U.S. citizens, but they have lived in a state for more than 5 years, so they qualify for something like that state program. There are state programs that are specific just for residents, and students have to have lived in that state for at least maybe like a year, maybe 5 years. Maybe they have to have been born in that state. So as I said, it depends on the program, depends on the state scholarship, the state aid. But there's those resources, and a lot of them will have some sort of application process. So it is important that students are filling those out. Okay. All right. So that is all of the information that I have for you today. It is time for, if you guys have any questions, you can ask your questions in the chat. I can answer your questions. But I do want to remind you, for those of you who might have joined later, we are having a Labor Day sale, a 60% off Labor Day sale for you to join Best College Aid today. You to join our family lifetime membership and have access to all of the incredible benefits inside of our membership. Benefits such as unlimited online support via chat, via our private Facebook group, via email, access to our step-by-step 4-year high school planner, step-by-step guides and tutorials on how to fill forms such as the FAFSA, the CSS profile, how to find state aid in your state, how to find private scholarships and how to win private scholarships, how to, if your student is a student athlete, how to get those athletic scholarships, how to go through the recruitment process, because as a matter of fact, my brother David, he was an athlete and he was a D1 athlete, and he had to go through that recruitment process. He was a swimmer, and he went to a bunch of schools, did college visits. He contacted all these coaches, and he got a great deal to swim at Marist College, and he got $8,000 per year to swim for college. And that was just one of the many scholarships that he won. So he has a lot of experience on that. And he has also helped other students inside our program who have been able to get athletic scholarships. We have a student who is a baseball player because he's still playing baseball in college, but he got a full ride. And we have other students who have also been athletes and have gone through the college admissions the recruitment process for athletes. So that is something else that we do include inside our membership. So if you want to have access to this and all of the other benefits, take advantage of our sale, 60% off, $600 off of Best College Aid for you to join today due to the Labor Day sale. And that ends in 24 hours, so make sure that you take advantage of it. All right, I don't see any other questions. I guess it's time for the live stream to end. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. I hope this information was helpful for you and that it was something that is going to maybe make a difference in your college journey. Remember that we are live every week on Mondays here on YouTube and Facebook at We did start a little early today, but we are live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and tomorrow we'll be live on Instagram and on TikTok at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to follow us here, nope, here is our social media handles, and we look forward to see you next time. Have a fantastic week. Happy Labor Day, and yeah, I'll see you next time. My name is Laura Cantu, and I'll see you later.